वेलकम टू एवरीवन वाचिंग ऑन यूट्यूब. अगर आप रीप्ले देख रहे हो, रिकॉर्डिंग देख रहे हो, अगेन वेलकम. वील जस्ट स्टार्ट इन द कमिंग फ्यू सेकंड्स. एंड आज हम लोग बात करेंगे निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी के बारे में. आज ऑफ कोर्स एक्सपायरी है. इट्स अ थर्सडे एक्सपायरी टुडे, सो वी विल टॉक अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट द एक्सपायरी. बट ज्यादा तो मैं जनरल मार्केट के बारे में ही बात करूंगा, सिंस आई फील 3 बजे के बाद गेटिंग इनटू open interest and all ends up becoming kind of redundant. Hello, Umesh and Rushwant. I hope you are all doing very well. Okay, people are still joining, but we can start. As and when people come, they can sort of just see कि क्या हो रहा है. And Creator पे भी recording आ जाता है. By the way, in case anyone's wondering, Creator, YouTube both will have the recordings. And you can check it out again on my channel on YouTube or on Creator also on my profile. Anyway, let's get back to business. Let's talk about Nifty and Bank Nifty भी देखेंगे. First Nifty though, यहाँ पर हम लोग देख सकते हैं that Nifty is actually right around the open, and it appears that the bulls and the bears are really fighting it out to see कि आज का दिन क्लोज ओपन से ऊपर होगा कि नीचे. So that appears to be the big fight today. And even if we go in, if we zoom in closer, we can still see that the fight has been there practically throughout. अगर हम लोग देखते हैं, then these lower levels or so that were there, 18100 retest, 1860 and such, ये levels पे वो थोड़ा सा जाके ऊपर आया है. But apart from that, there is no as such क्या बोलते हैं, displacement that was done. अगर हम लोग देखते हैं, then the day started off here and we can see that roughly उसके ही आजू बाजू मूव हो रहा है. In fact, the opening price for today has pretty much acted as a resistance. We can see here, right? Resistance and support. So I feel that is very interesting for today. But हम लोग ने कल बात की थी in terms of trades and in terms of the bias, that ये वाला जो general zone है, right? These two sort of zones. I said that will Nifty go above 18,200 was the title from yesterday. So मेरा क्या view था, that at that time Nifty was around 18,200 ish SGX. वो एक्चुअली नहीं हुआ उतना. It opened gap down, but my thought was that ठीक है, अगर ये वाला जो resistance था starting में, if that is broken and we are able to hold above that, then well and good, then we might actually see an increase in prices. But वैसा हम लोग ने नहीं देखा. Gap down open, and since it was a gap down, we saw resistance from this zone. हम लोग पहले यहां से सपोर्ट एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे, पर यहां से रेजिस्टेंस आने लगा. एंड मैंने तभी भी बोला था दैट इफ प्राइसेस ट्रेडिंग बिलो दिस लेवल अराउंड 18,150 और सो, the bias might just be on the downside. So that is what we're seeing. हाँ, यहाँ पे spikes और सब देख सकते हो आप, यहाँ पे dips भी देख सकते हो. That general volatility is there, of course. वो तो रहने ही वाली है. But in general, if we say कि sort of direction क्या था, bias क्या था, I feel this is what is sort of helping us sort of piece together where Nifty was and how it's going. In fact, हम लोग देख सकते हैं that कल का जो support था, right, the opening support, that is roughly where Nifty has taken support from today also. So in general we can say it's an inside bar. Of course, ये हम लोग ने daily भी देखा था, daily chart पर भी देखा था. So this is the overall environment for Nifty. Again, it does not mean that Nifty is bearish per se. Definitely does not mean that. But हाँ, ये जरूर हम कह सकते हैं that जो पॉजिटिविटी देख रहे थे हम लोग पिछले कुछ दिन से, that appears to be sort of slowing down, which is fine. It's bound to slow down. 15-minute chart, just to get an idea. If you want to see multiple time frames, you can see this is the region that I was talking about yesterday. And उसके बाद का अगर region माने तो maybe ये हो सकता है. So if prices are really unable to cross above that 18,150 or so mark, then maybe 1820 is where the market might be headed. So this is what Nifty looks. Again, I'll just show you some other time frames also, so you get an idea कि अच्छा overall कैसा लग रहा है. Now you might also say that okay, this appears to be like a bearish wedge of sorts. Sure, we can call any names, we can give these patterns whichever name that we like, but ultimately आई फील द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि हम लोग समझे कि ये वाला जो जोन है राइट 200 220 का, वो क्रॉस करने में बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है. सो लेट अस सी how that goes. Again, on the daily chart also, I will just show it to you once again. Repeat कर रहा हूँ थोड़ा, but I just want you to know कि overall कैसा है environment. And we can see here moving average के हिसाब से it is above the 20 MA, which is good. And 20 MA comes in right around 18,020. These are the drawings. So I hope that helps you all with levels also जो हम लोग ने बात की अभी. And in case someone did not catch the levels, please you can check the replay, or at the end if we have some time, अगर कोई questions या सब पूछ रहे हैं, then you can ask that and I will be happy to repeat the levels. So I hope that's good. Somesh, we've started, right? I hope I'm audible and all. Nikhil, hi Nikhil, what's up? Hi Rushwant. I hope you can all hear me, by the way. सोमेश ने when is it starting पूछ के मेरे को थोड़ा सा ऑफ गार्ड पकड़ लिया है. Anyone on YouTube? YouTube, no one. ठीक है. I hope you can actually hear me. Otherwise, that is a little concerning. But anyway, I'll assume that you all can. यहाँ पर हम लोग बैंक निफ्टी पे देख सकते हैं that once again the same level that we are seeing is sort of holding. It's an inside bar, of course. हम लोग देख सकते हैं ज़्यादा कुछ movement नहीं हुई है, but we can see again roughly similar levels that we saw with Nifty also, कि हमारा ये वाला जो जोन था, this is what I had sort of mentioned yesterday कि अच्छा maybe if we are able to go above this, then 42,700 is also likely. Basically 42,500 का जोन आया था, और downside पे I believe we spoke about several levels, one of them including 42,350. So यहाँ पर actually we were really fighting for both these levels, but ultimately prices dropped, and then as a result we are continuing to see some pressure on the downside. So I would say bias जो है थोड़ा सा bearish है मेरे हिसाब से at this stage. So let's see how that goes as well. In terms of levels, if you ask me, I'll go to the 15-minute chart so we get a better idea. And यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो that in my view the main two levels are this only, 42,700 and 41,900, with some support from 42,060. ये वाले सारे जो levels हैं, there are several sort of intermediary levels here that are coming into the picture, but मेरे हिसाब से the three levels that really matter are these three. So अभी since prices are really trying to go lower, अगर हम लोग देखते हैं maybe this region that has sort of held on to the market, maybe 42,200 के आसपास का, अगर ये फिर से टूटता है, then I do feel that 42 के retest might be what is on the cards. और अगर वो भी तोड़ता है then 41,900. Yes, okay, good. Just making sure. So yeah, that is my view on Bank Nifty as well. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. We can always talk about those. But यहाँ पे ये लिख रहा है, I mean, typical sideways market है. And as we know, when the market is sideways, this is the classic example of ना घर का ना घाट का, in the way that ना तो वो ऊपर जा रहा है ना तो वो नीचे जा रहा है, बस ऊपर नीचे कर रहा है. So you are who's my father, in case you've watched the YouTube channel videos, then you must have seen his videos because he's quite prolific in his videos and everything, this gent. And he always has this saying कि खाया पिया कुछ नहीं, ग्लास तोड़ा 12 ना. Meaning you went to a restaurant, you didn't eat anything, ग्लास तोड़ के आ गए और ग्लास का खर्चा देना पड़ा. So that is probably what is happening in the markets in a way of speaking. So देखते हैं कैसे जाता है. First, let's also now look at the stocks and all the important stocks that are there. So Reliance we can see is sort of edging on the upside. हम लोग देख सकते हैं lower level से अच्छा recover कर पाया है. 5-minute chart if we see, you can really make out कि starting में थोड़ा सा sell off हुआ. It sort of continued this bearish bias that it had from last afternoon. और वहां से सेल ऑफ होके अगेन इट सॉर्ट ऑफ टुक सपोर्ट फ्रॉम दिस 2450 के आसपास का लेवल, which is when it sort of went up, but again not enough. आई फील 2480 का जो जोन है, that is proving to be a bit of a stretch for Reliance. HDFC Bank is edging on the upside, which is a good sign. HDFC Bank के केस में we spoke about this general sort of setup because यहाँ पर हम लोग देख सकते हैं that it is almost like a flag pattern, except यहाँ पे उसने flag थोड़ा सा break कर दिया था. So now let's see if it's actually able to hold above maybe 1670, 1680, which is roughly this level here, 1650 है ये. But this comes closer into the territory, then I feel it does make a very sort of good trade in general. Trade nahi to at least it might make a very good sort of news for Nifty or some of the other banking stocks. But as of now to nahi, I have not really touched HDFC Bank also. Let's see relative basis pe kahan pe hai. Relatively speaking, it's around the moving average 50 and 20, but again, not a point where I typically would sort of look at it. But yeah, in terms of market movements, in terms of where it might swing Nifty and Bank Nifty, मेरे हिसाब से अगर 1650 और वो सारे levels को cross कर पाता है, then it does have a good chance of actually driving the market on the upside. We can see RSI 60 के आसपास आ रहा है, and as you know, when RSI is 60 plus, generally this means कि जो हमारा momentum है वो healthy है. So that is what we are trying to understand. Infosys अगर देखते हैं, then we can see here it is really trying to hold well above that 1500 level. आज हम देख सकते हैं 1528 was the low, and we can see यहाँ पे if we sort of consider this general resistance zone, तो यहाँ पे ही उसने वो resistance retest किया है. So probably the moment it crosses this level here, which is around 1550, we might see some good movement for Infosys also. HDFC की बात कर लेते हैं यहाँ पर. HDFC also something similar, bouncing up from 2600, 2620. But हम लोग देख सकते हैं that once again, it is stuck in this rectangle of sorts. और जब तक वो ऐसे range bound रहेगा, sideways रहेगा, it is unlikely that we will be able to see a decisive movement. For ICICI Bank, it is really trying very hard to hold above this level. But I feel ये 880 के ऊपर जब जाएगा, then it will have really shown some strength, and उसके बाद ही शायद उसके अंदर वो momentum आएगा. तब तक maybe it might just continue falling, continue sliding, because this sort of trend line is also there, that at least it's respected once, twice, and 3 times. With support, of course, as we just being somewhere around here. SBI देखते हैं. SBI looks like this. Again, nothing much to comment on except for ये resistance जो है might become a support. कोटक बैंक यहाँ पर हमें कुछ ऐसा दिख रहा है. कोटक बैंक में हम लोग ने बात की थी I believe 2 days back in our live stream only, and I was telling you how Kotak Bank की typically एक आदत है that it sort of moves sideways and it just does not move very well, and that is really what we are seeing again. So not very reassuring, but that is just the nature of the beast. Axis Bank, very quickly, let's take a look. Axis Bank coming down from the highs. We can see basically HDFC Bank एक अच्छा बैंक है जो sort of higher levels पे traverse कर पाया है. Otherwise, ICICI Bank also down from the highs. Kotak Bank also down from the highs quite a lot. This is practically a marubozu. This is probably one of the reasons why we are looking at Bank Nifty coming down. और इसका reason क्या है? You can see Friday 20th Jan is the earnings. So estimate है यहाँ पे revenue और earnings का. Let's see वो कैसे exactly जाता है. SBI also kind of doing something similar. If we talk about Axis Bank also, higher levels को reject sort of कर लिया. हम लोग देख सकते हैं that it sort of made a high and then the upper shadow or the upper wick is lower. And finally, we can take a look at TCS also. I know it's a bit long-winded, but we can take a look at TCS also. और TCS भी around higher level से थोड़ा सा stagnate हो रहा है. Any insights on HCL? We'll talk about that. Is Yes Bank a good investment? Investment, I don't know. Trade also, to be very frank, I don't know. Since it is a stock that has been sort of under question and under the scanner, I've really avoided this stock. Even though I personally have holdings that were stuck, but हम लोग देख सकते हैं at this stage it's already recovered a fair bit. It's gone from 10 to 20. It's done 2x in the matter of what? Matter of around almost 2 years ish. So देखते हैं, maybe it does have a chance, maybe people aren't giving it enough credit, but then again we have to remember कि इसमें lock-in है, and I believe just about now the lock-ins, 3-year lock-ins that people had or 2-year lock-ins that people had might be getting over. For moving averages, यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं that this 500 EMA appears to be holding well, so is the 50 SMA. So that is one thing that we need to keep in mind. I know this looks like SOS, but it is actually 50 SMA. Okay. HCL बोला था, right? HCL देख लेते हैं. Let's take a look at HCL. HCL tech डालना नहीं आ गया यहाँ पे. HCL is also coming down from the higher levels, so I think it's very typical. CNX IT अगर देखेंगे, maybe we'll see something similar. Not really, but kind of. So CNX IT, basically the IT sector as a whole, हम लोग देख सकते हैं that it is really trying very hard to outperform, and we can see IT sector as a whole पे हम लोग ने देखा है golden cross. How many people know what golden cross is? What are your thoughts on IndusInd Bank? IndusInd Bank का I think आज या कल ही रिजल्ट आया है, right? If I'm not wrong. So not sure. No, not sure about the golden cross. So basically यहाँ पे ये red वाली है वो 50 MA है. This is the 200 MA. So this is not related to the market right now, but आपको additional just थोड़ा सा info दे रहा हूँ मैं. Whenever a shorter moving average like the 50 crosses over, so we are saying 50 crosses over 200, हम लोग उसे golden crossover कहते हैं. Why? Because the recent prices are higher than the older prices, which mean कि prices are actually bullish, which is actually a positive sign. So since वो चीज हुई है, maybe IT के अंदर हम लोग और bullishness देखेंगे, but then again that's something that many have speculated, especially since we're almost 25-ish% down from the highs. So देखते हैं. IndusInd बोलो ना, IndusInd. Any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we can take this as the last question. IndusInd at 50 MA, yes, earnings was today itself. I think in the morning is when the earnings came. We can see revenue has missed expectations. The earnings, the profit has beaten expectations. So as such, उसका अगर हम लोग देखते हैं result का, we can see this is where the volatility was. I do remember that the results were around the opening time as well. वो दिख गया था मेरे को उसमें headlines में. But after that, we can see it's sort of just slowly and steadily sold off तो नहीं बोल सकते, but at least it's sort of just gone down, taken the path of least resistance, which happened to be on the downside. 1200 के ऊपर आने की ट्राई कर रहा है, but I'm not sure to be frank. And we can see here, this is the moving average that it appears to be bouncing off of this 500 EMA. But उसके अलावा, to be frank, I don't know much. This is not a stock that I track. Since you mentioned it, I thought maybe देख लेता हूँ. Otherwise, I personally wouldn't sort of enter, purely because it's just not something that I track. But yeah, otherwise, technically speaking, यहाँ से शायद resistance आएगा. अगर नहीं आता and we see something like this, then it's a bullish sign. Okay. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the overall sort of this thing also market, and then we can wrap up. हम लोग देख सकते हैं VIX has actually gone down further. It is now below 14. 13.98 है. हम लोग ने 2 या 3 दिन पहले 15 के नीचे जाते देखा था. Now it is 13.98. So volatility is going down a lot. That might make it a little trickier to trade options, क्योंकि even though high volatility में options are expensive and choppy, एकदम low volatility में options can just sort of end up decaying, or they don't move that much. Especially for buyers, that's a problem. अगर हम लोग यहाँ पर देखें, then most sectors are negative except maybe oil and gas, PSU bank, and IT is flat as we saw. Gainers and losers for Nifty, this is the list. Again, a lot of PSU enterprises as we can see, correct? Losers का list कुछ ऐसा है. Adani Enterprises once again going down. I believe FPO का जो उन लोग ने announcement किया है, that is 20% below the current market price then. So देखते हैं how low it actually comes. For Bank Nifty, if we see, these are the losers and these are the gainers. Very few gainers, quite a lot of losers, but not by that much. ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे ही एकदम ही गिर गए हैं, but yeah, there are fewer gainers than there are losers. Can you give level for Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow? So I did give certain levels, but I can repeat those for you very quickly. So I will give you the sort of short version of it. मेरा general idea क्या है, general point क्या है कि I feel ये 18,120 का जो zone है, that price is just rejecting. Now, in fact, price did reject yesterday's sort of high and low also. अगर सेम हिसाब से हम ले, then maybe this is an important zone and so is this. अगर ये zones टूटते हैं, then maybe on the downside we can expect around 17,950 or so. 17,940, 17,950. On the upside, अगर मान लो 200 ब्रेक करता है, then things become interesting, क्योंकि 200 के बाद 220 का लेवल आ जाता है, and from there we can see there is another level around here which is around 240, 250, 240, 250, 260 के आसपास है, 260, 270 के आसपास है. So yeah, those would be the levels for me for Bank Nifty, for Nifty. For Bank Nifty अगर हम देखते हैं, then for Bank Nifty the three levels in my view are 42,700, 42,060 and 41,900. क्योंकि प्राइस यहाँ पे ही इन लेवल्स के बीच में ही जाने वाला है. सो आई डोंट वांट टू गिव you know छोटे छोटे levels. These are the rough levels that I feel are important. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. And generally these live streams are there every Tuesday and Thursday. अगर आपको मेरे regular videos देखने हैं, then as you can see I just shared a link on our this thing on our creator chat. I'll do so on the YouTube chat as well. और वहां पर आप मेरे वीडियोस देख सकते हो, यूआर के भी वीडियोस देख सकते हो. एवरी वीकेंड वी जनरली कम अप विद 2 to 4 वीडियोस. सो उसमें भी आई एम श्योर दे विल आल्सो बी एबल टू ऐड अ लॉट मोर वैल्यू टू योर general analysis and general view and perspective on the market. So do check that out as well. And yeah, up until then I think that's going to be about it for this one. Make sure you are also following me on Creator along with staying subscribed on YouTube, because that's the best way to sort of be notified whenever I go live. So anyway, आज के लिए इतना ही था. Thank you so much for sticking through. I hope you have a great Thursday ahead, and I hope you have a nice Friday as well. I will see you all on Tuesday live, and I will see you all tomorrow and over the weekend using my video and using Stock Markets with KR YouTube channel. So thank you very much. See you in the next one. Happy trading, happy analysis.